everybody. This is Richie from the Metal Cell podcast. First of all, I want to give a shout out to our main sponsor, Rising Suns, the award-winning brewery in Cork. Can you believe it, lads? The show has been sponsored by fucking a brewery. 3 years of hard graft gets you a sponsorship with a brewery in Cork. Rising Suns, highly recommended if you're ever down the Cork side of things. So,
did you get free beer?
Not yet. We're working on it though.
It's money, that's Shan, man. Fuck.
They only came on board in December, so I have the whole of this year to try and get a few beers out of them and maybe host 1 or 2 live podcasts from there as well. So early days yet. So for those that don't know, I have Dusk Amadeus on the show. I'm delighted to welcome Zak and Ewan to the podcast. Thanks for coming on, lads.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's a fucking pleasure, man. So Ewan plays guitars, throws on a few screams and hollers and a bit of vocals as well. And Zak has recently joined the band. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm Ewan, by the way, and that's Zak.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent stuff. So it was a pleasure to see, actually. It was a happy coincidence I was up in Belfast because I'm down south, down towards Cork. I don't know, do you know where Cork is? Tell me you do.
Nah.
Fuck it, okay. It's it's the real capital of Ireland, and for anybody that's listening and laughs, fuck ye, it is. So all they talk about is Dublin, but there's Cork and it's down south, kind of nice port city. I got to see in Belfast, it was for Crypt of the Riff, and what a fantastic night it was, lads. First of all, did you enjoy it?
Oh, it's fucking great. Yeah.
Shout out to Jake for putting us on.
Yeah.
He's pals with Sasha from I think they were in a band together. I can't remember what their name was.
Oh wow! So Sasha is the vocalist and guitarist with G. So just for people to know. So Jake and Sasha were in a band early days together. Do you reckon? Or
yeah, I can't remember what their name was, but yeah, they were in a band together, and then we stole her.
Yeah, good acquisition, lads. Good acquisition. So did you enjoy the night? I remember watching you. You were the opening band, and I literally was just shocked at how good you were. You're a new band, I presume. So I don't know how many gigs had you behind you. I'd imagine you'd a few because you were really good that night.
We've been a band for a while, and before COVID, so
okay,
we've been kicking it for a wee bit, and we've been working on this album for a long time, so we're just excited to get it out and then move on, because a lot of the songs that are recorded were from pre-COVID times, so. Yeah. Excited to get it out and move on.
Yeah, but you, and even looking at you on the stage that night, I knew that you had played a good few gigs before.
Well, that was my first ever gig with you guys, and maybe my third time playing with them. So I think we'd rehearsed twice before that.
Yeah, we had 2 very rough sounding practices before that. The spaces we were using were not good. My amp was not working and stuff. So I'm glad it sounded good.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing it. We had a myriad of technical difficulties in rehearsals, but then when he finally got up to play on stage, it was great.
Man, you smashed it. I know. I love watching drummers and you were you were enjoying it. There was a smile on your face. Yeah,
that's what I love about having Zak in the band, is he just doesn't stop smiling.
Yeah.
I think this is my first doom band that I've played with, and I haven't played metal in a couple of years.
Oh really?
And,
okay.
I got really excited about it. It was so gassed to play the show. But.
Yeah, class. And I think, how many songs did you had? Around 5 or 6, was it?
I think it was 6.
Right. Okay. And of course, I was at the very front. And shout out to Owen from Slung from a Tree. So the two of us were at the very front watching you and enjoying it. And I said this already in a previous podcast, and for those that missed it, but I was looking down at one stage looking for my beer, and then I spotted a cowbell right alongside the guitar pedals. And I went to Owen, and I goes, man, that's a fucking cowbell. And Owen is going, yeah, I wonder will they play it? And I goes, Jesus, that'd be brilliant if they did. And then Jake then was also at the front, and I was shouting at Jake going, fucking cowbell. And he goes, yeah, it's coming up. The song is coming up. Man, that was so good. Whatever song that was, when Sash picked up the cowbell, man, it was just like, brought me back to like, what are they called? Don't Fear the Reaper. Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah. Old school classic cowbell tune.
We love a cowbell. Like,
yeah. It's not a gimmick, man, because it works so well with whatever song it is. What's the song?
The Alchemist.
The Alchemist, class. Okay.
I think I sent you that one, if I'm not mistaken, maybe. But
yeah, we'll have a look at what you get. No, you didn't actually. You sent me Premonitions, Ancient Corner, and Dusk Amadeus.
Oh, right. I should have sent you off. Yeah.
Do you know what? It's better you didn't, because that means now people will be looking forward to it even more so now.
Well, we have a fun fact about that cowbell. It used to belong to the Proclaimers.
No. Are you serious?
Because we used to practice in a space.
Sunshine and Leeds, boy.
Yeah. We used to use a practice space that they owned.
Right. And they left that behind them, is it, or something?
And they had like a storage room, and the guy was like, oh yeah, that's like all that their old gear and stuff. And then we like took their cowbell. So.
That's fantastic. I love it. And I remember you hung around as well for most of the other bands that night. I think you were probably waiting for Elder Jude, like most of us anyway. But can you remember the other bands that played? Molar Bear and...
Yeah, Molar Bear were
Soma?
Really good. I think I just saw Molar Bear and Elder Druid that night.
Soma were outstanding as well. They followed G. And Sky Pilot.
Sky Pilot, I remember. Yeah, they were really good. I enjoyed them.
Yeah, the 3-piece.
Yeah, they were fucking sick.
Yeah. So was that actually your first gig then in Belfast?
Yeah, it was, and it was great.
Yeah, like we couldn't have asked for like a bigger turnout for like the opening band. Like that was mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun. I'd been to Belfast before, and we'd been to Voodoo just like for drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
It was first time going for a gig, and yeah, I like the whole metal bar vibe of it.
It's a great setup.
Like it was really nice.
It's a great setup to have that. What's that, Ewan?
They do a cracking Guinness as well.
Speaking of. Yeah, speaking of, yeah. And did you bring any merch with you that night, or was it you just...
Nah, we've never had merch, but we're hoping to get some for when we do it after.
Okay.
But yeah, Sasha's in charge of sorting that out. We don't have a manager, so we do everything ourselves, and we're all over the place with it.
Yeah. Hey, come here. Welcome to the fucking the show and that, like, because there's the majority of bands on this basically don't have managers. You know, it's more or less embracing the underground scene. Can we just talk about the formation of the band, Ewan? How did you all meet up? Was it through college or what? Or
so it started off just me, Morris, and our old drummer Cammy. Okay. It was a 3-piece. We were just like, you know, trying to start a doom band, but none of us can fucking sing.
Right.
So we were just jamming for ages, and I was like doing some screaming and stuff. And we were really into Windhand at the time, and we still are.
Windhand? Who are Windhand?
Windhand, they're like a really amazing doom band with like these proper like witchy vocals.
Okay.
And all their albums just sound like a full moon in a fart, you know?
Yeah.
And we love that. So we were like, oh, we need to find like some witchy vocals. And then funnily enough, we met Sasha at a Windhand gig.
Nice.
It was very serendipitous. And yeah, we ended up becoming pals, met her on a night out and was like, oh yeah, like we're looking for some witchy vocals. Would you be interested? But we had another girl who was like auditioning at the time, And Sasha was like, "Oh well, if she dies, then like I'll join the band."
So you murdered her.
Yeah, we sacrificed her for the band. So
Yeah, fair play. And where was all this taking place? Was this in Edinburgh or Glasgow?
it was both.
Okay.
It was both. Like, yeah, we were. Some of us were Edinburgh, some of us were Glasgow, but we were always coming through for gigs and stuff anyway. So
Okay, fair enough. And what about the name then?
I mean, we used to be called I'm Melting.
Oh, thank God you changed that. Fucking hell. So bad.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah, Zach, you wouldn't have joined the man with that fucking name.
Oh, we're not fuck like.
And then out of nowhere, we were at a practice, like trying to think of names, and Sasha was like, "Oh, what about Dusk Amadeus?" And yeah, I don't even know what it means, but it sounded cool. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, sure.
Like, and how many songs had you wrote at that stage, Ewan? Had you many, or when this is when Sasha joined now, for example?
I think we had like 2 really long songs, Dread and maybe Ancient Corners.
Okay.
And I was singing on them. And then once Sasha joined the band, that's when we really started getting the ball rolling with writing.
Yeah, and is Sasha, like I saw her, she's playing guitar on stage that time in Belfast as well. So is she contributing to lyrics and actual songwriting?
Yeah, I mean, she's been writing a couple of new riffs that we've been jamming recently that have been
Cool.
pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
She kind of has like wholesale in the lyrics, right?
Some of the lyrics are mine, but all the old ones are my lyrics. And then, we have a couple new songs with my lyrics as well, but they're mostly Sasha's. And she's only just started playing guitar as well.
Oh, okay.
Before that, she was just singing in cowbell. Yeah.
Respect. And what about Morris? Is Morris a songwriter as well, or?
He wrote the main riff for Ancient Corners, actually, which is like, I know, probably one of our best riffs, and I've always been a bit salty about that. But
Yeah. And Zach, tell me about you. Like, what you've definitely been in bands before, but did you say that they were non-metal, or was it indie, or?
Yeah, like I've been playing I played in a couple metal bands when I was younger, like
Okay.
a couple of years ago, but it's mostly just fucking around with friends and never really got to that many gigs.
Right.
And I've been playing like a lot of like indie stuff. I did my like module in college was in jazz studies, so
Okay,
I've got
respect.
formality there. I've been doing a lot more electronic stuff. For like my bachelor's degree, I did like a weird trigger thing with Ableton for drums, which was just like, I was in lockdown, so I couldn't play with a band, so I had to figure out how to play something for myself. But then, yeah, Mackie hit me up a couple of months ago, like, "Oh, do you want to come play in Belfast? We'll pay for you to come out. It'll just be for the one show, it'll be a laugh." And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds like a great fucking time. I'd love to do that. I haven't played metal in ages, and I like the fucking demos a lot."
Yeah.
And when I got out there and played the show, I had such a great time. We were all sitting afterwards at the afters, like, "So you're going to join, yeah?" Like, I was like, "Yeah, but don't tell anyone yet. I need to think about it, but I really want to join."
Yeah.
Zach actually insisted in being in the band, so we're like, all right, fine.
Yeah, I just like hadn't had a band where I got to play as loud as I fucking wanted in ages.
Well,
Every other band, they're like, "Oh, can you calm it down a bit? Maybe play lighter sticks. Don't fucking go off the rails and crack your cymbals." And you guys were like, "This is great, louder."
Yeah. And he had, was it Megan was on drums? She left. And what other, he had a few past members, had she?
Yeah, we've decided that like we're one of those bands where our drummers just like spontaneously combust. You know?
Okay. Spinal Tap type thing.
Yeah.
Well, Zach, it was nice knowing you anyway, man. Fair play to you. Thanks for coming on the show.
It's a real pleasure. Yeah, I'll see you now.
We'll dedicate this episode to your memory, man. Like, Ewan, right, so what's your influences? Was it always Doom? Can you maybe give us an insight on kind of where you're pulling those songs from, and maybe the lyrics initially for the band.
So in the early days, we were writing a lot. I had like just discovered the Egyptian scale. So I was pure rinsing that, and we're listening to a lot of
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
And that we've just come from a practice today, and it's very we love that kind of like, I don't know, meditative repetition stuff. So we're still writing a lot of stuff like that. But I used to be in a post-punk band before Dusk as well. So I don't know if that really feeds into it, but I just like a lot of delay pedals and reverb pedals and stuff as well, and a bit of shoegaze as well.
Yeah, you can hear that as well coming through your music. So what we'll do is we're going to give people a feel of what you sound like. So this song is Premonitions, and we'll just play a clip of it there, and we'll talk about it then afterwards. There you go. I listening to the 3 tracks. You know, when I saw you live that night, it was just who the fuck does, especially Sasha singing. So I got it with Mazzy Star all day long. For those that don't know Mazzy Star, check them out. They're a brilliant indie band. They're not a doom band. And then Monolord for me as well. There's an influence there coming through, and Stone Jesus I just threw in there as well to mix. They're the 3 bands that kind of, for me, would try and pencil you into that kind of, and they're good bands, man.
Sasha gets the Mazzy Star comparison all the time. I think one of our best comparisons that we ever got was at a practice, and the owner of the practice space was like, "Oh yeah, you're like a cross between Jefferson Airplane and Sleep."
Wow, that's impressive, man.
And I was like, we'll take that for sure.
You can write that down on your resume. And what about Monolord? Are you fans of them?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Empress Rising, just that riff. Yeah. I'm kind of obsessed with that riff, like with the phaser pedal. Like, I don't even have a phaser pedal, but I'm gonna get one purely because of that song. Like, just it's so good.
Once you get the pedal, there'll be 4 songs exactly the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Touring. You've got a few gigs behind your backs now at this stage, and what's 2023 looking like for Dusk Amadeus?
Well, we're hoping to get the album out as soon as possible. We don't have an exact date yet. We're kind of going to plan the tour first around the time when we release the album. We're looking at maybe March or like late spring, early summer kind of vibe.
And what do you think would be the obstacles in relation to you as a band for touring the UK? have you got a designated driver, for example, to move gear around?
So Morris has a van, and then I have like a really small car.
Okay.
It's like a pure clown car when we take it to practice.
You got seats in the back, and I was literally sitting in it the other day with my knees like up to my chin. Like, how do you actually fit people in here?
Yeah, it's a proper wee clown car. But I reckon if we both take our cars, and then that should work out fine.
Okay. Well, the main thing is that one of you can drive, and the fact that two of you can, that's excellent. Like it's going to be Tetris, obviously, in the van with Zak's drum kit, etc.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I just
sure.
hope it doesn't get stolen again.
Our Morris's last van got stolen, and it's very on brand. But someone stole his van and then took it on a joyride to a graveyard, and then lit it on fire.
Fuck's sake.
I know. And it's like annoying how like cool that is, you know?
And was his gear in it as well? Like
Thankfully not. Thankfully there's just like some old, like there's loads of Polaroid photos and stuff on the wall that got burnt.
Just memories.
just memories.
And like you self-manage yourselves. So who's looking after the bookings there? Have you a little network set up with bands that you've played with already? Maybe that might help you get to other regions.
We're thinking like Glasgow, Edinburgh. We can like easily play there.
Okay.
And then we've maybe Dundee, and then I think we'd like to come to Ireland after that.
Yep, I can help you with that, hopefully.
That would be amazing, for sure.
Ireland was so much fun. Like going there again would be great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And
what about England? Have you any connections down towards Liverpool? It's traditionally London.
There is I have a couple pals from like random places. I know a band, I don't know if they're still going. They were called Squig.
Right.
And they were from Brighton, and they were kind of doomy. So we can maybe see if they're still going, play with them. But I'm sure we could.
Yeah, so it's what you're saying anyway, Ewan, is it's going to be mainly Scotland initially. And there's Finbar as well from Below the Neck, and he runs gigs as well. He's had friends of ours worn out.
And maybe London, I don't know. A lot of our friends are going down to London, like, oh yeah, like if you're doing a tour, you have to do London. But we're not really like in a massive rush to go down to London unless it's a show that's like worth it, you know?
Yeah, of course. And like, I suppose you said yourself there, there's obviously costs involved in everything with gigs, etc. And what about funding the album and I suppose the merch as well? So you're in the have you done your drums yet, Zak?
Actually, so for the album, Meg already recorded all of her drums.
Okay, fair enough then. All right.
Shout out to her, because I basically let her learn all of her parts, and some of them were a bit fucking like, what the fuck, what's going on here? It's mad. So I had a lot of fun going over that with her. But yeah, she's on all the tracks for the album, so she'll be released.
And then Cammy, the drummer before Megan, he's on Alchemist and Ancient Corners. And then the rest are Megan.
Okay. Like, how do you balance, for example, the recording costs? Is it through gigs, or how do you get the money up for that?
Yeah, pretty much gigs. And then we all sort of like chip in for studio time. We record at Green Door, and it's all analog. It's the only
class, man.
It's the only analog studio in Scotland that I'm aware of, and it's Ronan Fay who like produces us.
Right.
Shout out to Ronan from Green Door.
Yeah.
And their space is amazing. their reverb is just like a big tube.
Oh, big tube reverb.
It's like it's old school. It's just all on tape, and yeah, it's great. So we try to avoid recording digital as much as possible, just because it's funner, and also we quite like the limitation of it as well. Recording analog, it encourages you to
get weird,
to get the songs like sounding as good as you can possibly live.
Yeah.
And then
Acid Age from Belfast did that, but I don't know, was it in with Ronan? I'm not sure where it was. I know they did. I know they went analog as well. And you did the artwork then for Rot.
Yeah, I've got the painting here.
It's amazing.
That's it there.
Yeah, that is amazing, man. Danielle, that's how he first came into my spectrum, was Danielle, who does the Sunday Worship playlist on the Metal Cell. She came across you and put you on the playlist, and I was really, really impressed with it. And then she gave you a shout out as well for the best artwork. I don't know, did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that. Who said that?
Danielle. So we have the Metal Cell forums. It's a once a month show where there's myself, Danielle, Evan from Worn Out, and Joe from Gamma Bomb. We come on and we review singles, and then we talk about a topic. It's once a month, and at the end of the year we do awards for best album, best EP and stuff. And ultimately it's my decision on the night, and then the others tell me about their favorite stuff, and Danielle gave you her favorite album cover of the year, which was
Danielle, I appreciate it. Thank you. That's very nice to hear.
Yeah, it's a great fucking cover, man. Really, really impressive. And are you trained up in that? Did you do it in college, or is it just natural?
I studied illustration, and I'm a tattoo artist as well. So I don't always do like big paintings. Usually when I paint, it's for more personal stuff.
Right.
I like music as well, I guess. So I've done a painting for the album cover as well, which I'm excited to share with everyone.
And that saves you money, like it literally does. It's another cost that you don't have to be paying out.
Yeah,
it saves money, and it's also pretty good as well. Like, you save money and do a shit job, but I'm glad it's you doing the album artwork and stuff.
Okay, I'm going to play another song. I'm going to get through three songs before this podcast ends. This is Ancient Corner.
It cuts the cord of Satan and projects his first cry.
I was just thinking as well, Ewan, wouldn't it be nice to have your artwork on t-shirts, man? So
that's the plan.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of just like illustrations and stuff kicking about the flat.
Yeah.
That we could use, or I could make something new specifically for merch. It does take a lot out of me though, and you know, I write all the songs and like manage the band as well. So we are open to getting other artists as well. But for the single and for the album, like it's like needed to do these paintings, you know. It's like
I think in the fact that you're in the UK anyway, there's so many talented print shops around as well, man. You have your pick. I did a run of merch there, priced around everywhere. In the end, I went with Pins and Knuckles in the UK. I don't know where they are. They might be London based. I could be wrong, or Manchester, one or two. And then I got them to send it over to my mate Joe in Gamma Bomb. So I didn't get hit with customs and fucking duty tax and all that shit. Like, so.
Yeah, I'm not very like wise on the whole business side of getting t-shirts printed and stuff, but I do quite like the idea of embroidery as well. If it's, I don't know how expensive that would be or whatever, but some embroidered t-shirts would be really nice.
You could always go back and ask like Robbie from Stretch Bros.
True. Yeah. We have a mate who has like started his own t-shirt printing company in Edinburgh. No, where is it?
It's out in Linlithgow.
Linlithgow.
Yeah.
And he does a bunch of merch for bands, so we'll definitely.
There you go, man. There you go.
Shout out Stretch Bros if you're looking for merch.
Cool.
Stretch Bros. Yeah, he's class.
Yeah, excellent stuff. What about? What's your favorite place to listen to music, lads? There's one to throw you off track.
Favorite place to listen to music? You go first.
I'd have to say I got a pretty good system at my flat, and I've soundproofed underneath my platform bed for like sitting in to get like a surround sound. Just sort of completely like muscle in and just listen to tunes.
Yeah,
that's a really good spot. But there's also like a Monitors like shop in Leaf near where I live that I went to recently, and they have like a little back room for like going through vinyls and like albums you want with like a full surround sound system that's just immaculate. And the guy talking to the guy about it, he's like, "Oh, the whole setup with like the preamps and everything's like 50 grand." And he's like, "I only work here just so I can sit in here and play my favorite albums." And it's like, oh, it's just a holy place.
Class, man. You can't beat that, Ewan, surely.
Yeah, I like this is. I'm just being honest right now. Like, I love listening to music like while having sex.
I can't picture you.
Zach, you've just been beaten there.
This shows a lot of my sex life now.
No, like it's especially doom music. Like, if we're being honest, like.
Yeah, we're being honest here, man.
Like, you know the song Dope Smoker by Sleep?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's like one of the best songs ever to have sex to.
Okay, class. Yeah.
And any of the Windhand albums as well. Amazing.
And here I was thinking that your favourite place to listen to music would be in your little shitty clown car.
Your clown car does have a nice distorted feel to it. Like.
It's definitely... extra distortion.
And what would be your favorite then soundtrack, lads? Do you watch much movies and stuff? Would you have a favorite soundtrack?
House of a Thousand Corpses by far. Like the Rob Zombie shit, I love today.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Me and Zach kind of bonded over that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watch a lot of 70s horror movies.
Yeah.
And it's not, so the music's not very heavy, but there's this one movie that I watched recently called Vampiros Lesbos.
I've actually seen that years ago. How
good is the soundtrack?
Yeah, it's fucking... I don't know. I can't remember the soundtrack, but yeah, it's a cult classic. Like,
yeah, I discovered the soundtrack first.
Okay,
and then I watched the film.
Right.
But the soundtrack's amazing. It's just like pure weird jazz with like. There's like harps and like organ and stuff like that. I love all that 70s like.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff out there like that. Yeah, all the Hammer House ones and they just spawned another. Was it House of Hammer? Wasn't it? or the Hammer House. They're all the old school horrors.
Anything with Christopher Lee in it, I'm all over.
There you go, man. Yeah, and
the Wicker Man soundtrack as well.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's like a dream job of mine, is to do the soundtrack to a horror film.
That would be so cool.
Just with like, you know, like someone getting like sacrificed in the woods with like a slow, like heavy riff over it, like.
Well, why don't you record a video in the woods with your own music in the background?
It's possible.
So
It
you
is
got
possible.
great drummers, right? Just film Sacrifice and then we'll put it up.
Yeah, we'll record a snuff film of us murdering Zach.
That sounds good, man. Did you? There's one there, which is a great example of a band that did a fantastic song, and the video is outstanding as well. Is Elder Druid, the video to Golgotha? Have you seen that? No.
I love Golgotha. It's like one of my favorite tunes
What's
from them.
Golgotha? No, I don't know if I have. No.
Yeah. So the video for the single Golgotha by Elder Druid, check it out.
I'll need to think about it for sure.
Yeah, and it was
You'll recognize it. It's got a very iconic like beat to it.
Oh yeah, it was Kerry actually that did the video to it. She is Andy Clark from The Crawlin's Better Half. So shout out to Kerry. What about then? Since we're on about horror movies and soundtracks, would you ever think of doing maybe intro music for Dusk Amadeus? What would it be? Would it be an actual clip from a horror movie? Be a nice way to come on stage with like smoke and a particular intro.
So we're playing a gig on Sunday, and Zach's bringing a projector.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of old like 80s horror films and chopped them up together to have like graphics on in the background. So we've got like House of a Thousand Corpses, Evil Dead, Night of the Undead, Hellraiser? Yeah, Hellraiser.
Class.
Loads of like old classic 80s gory fucking films, and it's just been, I mean, having a real peg out on it and just going through them all in my like week.
We need
off.
to add some more though.
Yeah.
We need to get, I don't know if you've seen Lucifer Rising.
Might have years ago again. Is that an old one?
It's an old like 70s one, very esoteric. Ken Anger directed it. And it's like all based on Aleister Crowley's religion, Thelema.
Okay.
But the imagery is really nice, just like very Egyptian and like ritualistic. I think we should get that.
Yeah. You know what I'd love to get is the fucking chant in House of a Thousand Corpses that is like the
yeah. Spot on, man. There's an intro.
Yeah, that's a good one to come out to because it's like really spooky and doomy. Like
I don't remember that. What scene is that?
it's when they're like burying them out in the back and they're in their rabbit costumes and they're like lowering them into like a pit full of like zombies and shit. I think it's like one of his poems, like, and he's reciting it and they've like pitched it down and slowed it down to like half the speed, so it's like really fucking evil.
Yeah, that's class. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
We need to get on that.
But see, the
like
thing is,
Scooby-Doo as well.
Yeah, a bit of Scooby-Doo never hurt.
see, the thing is, like, you can't get any of these films now anymore. Well, the likes of those on Netflix or any of that shit. Like it's on. So they have loads of them on DVD, you know, and I can go back and get videos as well and show them to you, you know. But
the good thing I go through is like charity shops. They've always got loads of fucking old horror films that no one's ever seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go through there. Or I think there's that one called Shudder, which is like a exclusively horror streaming service, which is quite good.
I use F-Share. F-Share TV has a lot of old horror films on
have
it.
they really? Yeah.
Yeah. I would recommend F-Share TV if you're looking for like good like 70s.
Yeah. Then you can get other ones on YouTube as well, full movies on YouTube.
Usually it's the really old ones, like 1940s or something.
And cannibals and stuff like that. Cannibal Holocaust and shit like that.
I'm too scared to watch that. I've still not seen that.
Haven't you really, no? So we'll say you're releasing, well, you did release Rot. Are you going to look at, because we had a discussion on the forums there about Bandcamp. So are you going to use the Bandcamp format, or are you going to use, I know you're actually using Spotify at the moment, but what about for your release and stuff? Do you think you'll go Bandcamp with it, or?
It might be better for like merch and like selling CDs and vinyl and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
Maybe something, maybe a little exclusive piece here and there for Bandcamp. It's
Yeah,
always nice to have something up there that's like slightly different.
yeah. Honestly, like we haven't really thought about that, but potentially, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And do you want to give a few band shout outs as well? What are you listening to at the moment? I know you're going to be touring with, or not touring, you're going to be playing a date this Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in Glasgow, there's not like a massive doom scene, but the Rhubarb are really good, and Goth Girlfriend. They're two really good kind of doomy Glasgow bands, and Brat Coven as well. But apart from that, a lot of this stuff in Glasgow is more like punky kind of.
Yeah. Traditionally always has been, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You got some good stuff in Edinburgh. It's not really so doomy, but we got a shout out for Disposable, Dog Tired.
My man. Now we're talking. Yeah, fucking class.
There's some real classics in there, like Disposable. I think they started putting out the first of their like 3 music videos that they're doing like each week. Like the first one came out just the weekend past.
Yeah.
And it's been great, man. And like I fucking love their shit.
Yeah. Yeah, Dog Tired are just unreal. They're just fucking...
Tired.
Dog Tired, yeah, they're fucking
Dog
great.
Tired. I've not heard
They're
of
out from like Pennycook Ways, which is like near where the village that I fucking grew up in. I started going to Edinburgh to like play shows and stuff, and I was like, oh, who's this fucking class metal band? I was like, oh, they're from like the village over from me. What the fuck?
Yeah. Jesus, when they said what Pennycook, what's it called? Pennynook, is it?
Pennycook, yeah.
Yeah. They were describing that before. It's a tiny fucking village, isn't it?
It's literally like the fucking only place that's only slightly big enough to have a high school, and all the other villages from round about come in there for like, you know, their fucking big shop and shit.
Yeah, class, man. Yeah, so we're going to play the title track. And is it the title of the album as well? Dusk Amadeus, no?
Yeah, so I personally wanted this to be the first track on the album, because then it would be like Dusk Amadeus by Dusk Amadeus on Dusk Amadeus, which is like what Black Sabbath did on their first album. But everyone else was like, no, that's not an opener. So I got outvoted on it, but it's fine.
Okay, band dynamics, Ewan, fuck's sake. Okay, we'll give it a listen here. Cool, lads. That's a fucking brilliant track. Is that the end track? Does that finish the album?
Or is that's going to close it out?
I think so, yeah. I think that's the plan.
Class. Okay, lads. Big shout out to Sasha and Morris, who aren't here tonight. They're at a gig, did you say, is it?
They're seeing Black Flag tonight.
What
So
an excuse to miss a podcast, huh?
Fair enough.
Yeah. So roughly, Ewan, when can we expect this album to be out? Are we kind of looking? Do you think the release will be out for the summer, like we're saying May, June? Do you think it'll be out by then?
Definitely, yeah. I would
Class.
like
Okay.
to think so. Everything's done. We just need to organize a kind of a tour around it. But yeah, the album's done. The artwork's done. We just need to kind of more like promotional stuff.
Get the press shot. Oh, we done the press shots the other day, actually. Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully we get it out soon, and when we do the tour, we're gonna have CDs of it as well. So
Definitely going to be buying a CD, man. Keep one aside for me.
will do, mate. Will do.
Okay.
And we would do vinyl. We're gonna look into it, but don't know if we can. Don't know if we can afford it.
Stay away from the vinyl route, man. It's a bridge too far at the moment. Make a promise to me you'll do it for the second album. How about that?
Have you got a cassette player? Because we're thinking cassettes.
Yeah, I have a cassette player. I have video players. I have everything. In case the world ends tomorrow, like I have all my old fucking school shit that will never be flogged or never be moved on. Still staying in the house with me, like. So that's it, lads. I really appreciate coming on the show. And I'm absolutely delighted to say I saw you live as well, you know.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope it was worth the 4-hour car journey up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm heading back up there now in a week's time to see Nomadus again in Belfast. It's an album launch. So, yeah, Glutton for Punishment.
Is that at Voodoo?
That's a Voodoo as well, yeah.
So, shout out Voodoo. If we're gonna, we probably will play Belfast for the tour. So like, probably Voodoo. For sure.
That's good, man. I'd love to say that I'll be there. So fingers crossed, and that will work out for me and works out with my work schedule and all that shit. You know, so it'd be lovely to meet up with you again and have a few pints, lads.
Sounds great, mate.
Great.
I'm up for it. Let's do it.
So listen, lads, Ewan and Zak from Dusk Amadeus, thanks for coming on the show, and crucially, support your local metal scene.
Of course, mate. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. It's been a
Cheers,
riot.
lads.
Take it easy.